friends. So today I thought I would have a special guest on. So here's my mom, aka Joni Brown Sugar, aka the woman who always does my hair. And so yeah, what's up?
What's up? Hi, I'm Joni Brown Sugar, and I am the woman that always does her hair, Jade's mom. And it's a pleasure to hang out with Jade today.
So I thought it would be interesting to have my mom here today because she's been doing my hair for pretty much my whole entire life. She's been doing her hair for pretty much her whole entire life, and just to talk about how the black hair scene has changed, what she thinks about it, how much she loves doing my hair and doing her own hair, etc. So I have some questions to ask you.
Sure.
And you give me some answers. All right. So tell me about your hair journey.
Ooh, it's been a long one. My hair journey started out from birth. So basically, it's always been short, tight, right. And as I got older, it became, your hair kind of goes with the fad. So it depends on the time and the fad that's going on is what your hair is going to look like. So when I said short, tight, and right, that was the fad then. It was the afro. It was nice and picked out. It was little side combs pulled up. So it looked cute for the time. And then it changed to perms, which was the worst, I would say the worst time for any black woman or black child to look tight and right during that time. So it was perms and chemicals going straight to your brain, burning your hair completely off, but it looked good for the first moment. Though. Yep, real cute. For a week. And then you'd notice the shedding. But so that was an experience, and I think that lasted a pretty long time. So for years we would get the perms, the chemical perms in between. Our hair would fall off, break. Well, can you get rid of that too? That doesn't make sense. So for years you would just, it was a vicious cycle. So you would get a perm, you'd have a bad hair day, you would get a perm, you want to be cute for the prom or to go out for the weekend or hang out with the girls, and it looked great for about 2 weeks to a month, and then you would notice the shedding, the breaking, the dryness, and you'd be, what would we call it? Pull back. No, what was? Turn back. It would be turned back within a month. So you would start all over again with the braids and nurturing your hair and caring for it and greasing it. Back then it was grease. It was the heaviest grease with the strongest smells. That was the most effective. Now we know.
So you thought.
We thought.
The stronger it smells, the
so
more
sulfur 8 was the go. Sulfur 8 was absolutely the go-to. And for all you old school ladies who are listening in, you totally know what I mean when I say sulfur 8, or Dax. Dax was a really big, heavy, black, lard-like grease that we would put in our hair to repair it from the damages of the chemicals of all the great-looking, beautiful women on the boxes of the perms. That really was just there for the sale.
And by turn back hair, she means once it gets wet or something happens to it, it turns right back to its natural state. After it's straightened, so
right,
turn right back.
Turn right back.
So what happened after the perms and everything?
So after the perms and everything, the first time I got braids, I felt like the Black Bo Derek, and I still look at that picture because that's my go-to for when I first got braids. And I tell you, there was probably 3 braids as my bang, and I thought
the bang.
It was the bang, and it was just, I thought I was everything. So my sister found a little hole in the wall shop in Boston, and because nobody around Chelsea did braids, so we went to Boston and I got my hair braided. And again, I thought I was just the stuff for a really long time until they lost it, until actually the beads started falling out and the extensions was kinking up, because that's how proud I was to carry this hairdo for so long. So long story short, that was the first time I got braids. I felt great. My self-esteem was booming. It was a good feel. And then, back then it wasn't as expensive as it is now, but it was more of a challenge just getting to shops and finding folks that were able to do your braids, and we were able to afford it. So then my sister Rochelle, who is incredibly creative, started working on my hair. So she started practicing. I was always her mannequin. I was always her, the white head that you put the wigs on. That was me. So I was 3 years younger than her. She would say 2, but 3. And basically I was her guinea pig. And she just started braiding my hair whenever, we were going out or I wanted to get extensions. So that was my first experience with really being creative and living the life of braids with extensions and all types of styles. So since that point, I've been wearing braids. So sometimes during COVID, natural was the look.
Wait, how long ago was that when she was doing your braids?
So Rochelle probably started braiding my hair after she pierced my ears at 10, and she was 12. She pierced my ears, I was 9. And then we started she used to sew clothing for me and things like that. So again, as I say, I was her guinea pig. We were probably around 12 to 13 years old when Rochelle started putting extensions in my hair. And for the most part, initially, half would fall out, but we learned and we got really, really good at it. By 15, it was just the thing. It was the norm.
And were you doing your own hair at 15 or?
No. So around probably 17, 18, Rochelle got tired of me chasing her down and asking her to do my hair. Okay. So I just knew the feel and learned the braid and the technique. And one day I just picked up a pack of hair extensions and braided my own hair. And from then it's history. I've been braiding since then. I'm braiding Jade's hair, my other daughter Jessica's hair, my son's hair, Kyle and Kingsley, when they were younger. And I started out, I always knew how to cornrow because my mom, when we went to school, in order to, keep it maintained. It wasn't that long, but just to keep it maintained, because we all know when you wore your afro to school, you did not come home looking the way you left in the morning. So, and there was also sometimes a little head lice going on in school and things like that. So my mom would do cornrows, and her cornrows were braided inward as opposed to outward, which, I don't know, do they call it a French braid? Not sure. But we would do the inward braid, and that was the cornrow, and I'd have about 4 pretty thick cornrows from the hairline of my head to the back to my kitchen. So we'd have nice big fat 4 rows of cornrows. So from there, I already knew the technique for cornrowing, but I didn't know for extensions and single braids. So thanks to my sister Rochelle for not finally saying no, that I had to take the initiative to learn myself. So it started from then and it continues today.
And now you're just like wearing braids, wearing it natural.
Yeah. So I tried the weave. I had a moment with the weave as well. Didn't go well. Felt like it wasn't as natural as braids. Kind of was difficult to maintain, and the pull on the hair I felt was a little more than extensions and braids. So that didn't last too long, and in fact, when you would try it, I would try to wash it, because again, it was when weaving was new to me. I tried to wash it and ended up with 3 doo-doo balls on top of my head of knots that I ended up having to cut it out and walk away from the weave. So that was very short-lived in my life, and went back to braids. And it became therapeutic to me. Braiding became, I would take a full day and turn on Lifetime and get my 4 kids right around me in my bedroom and just basically braid my hair from morning till night. And it became very therapeutic. And it still is. When I sit down to braid my hair, I'm all set to do what I feel like I do best. And it's soothing. But I want to say what's even more soothing is when I braid Jade's hair.
You're lying, bro.
Oh, really? I really mean it. I really mean it. Because I think it's an art, and I think when you like to do something, so I love to cook, and I'm really good at it, and I can be exhausted, but when I go in the kitchen, that's my time, and that's my therapy, so to speak, in terms of creating something that I know is going to be amazing. So that's how I feel about braiding as well. I drive Jade crazy because she likes bigger braids. I like to do fine, small braids.
Super tiny.
Super
all
tiny.
The time.
And I just enjoy the art of braiding. And some people take it as work. That something has to be done, but it's an option for me because I can always say no, but I never do.
And she does it for free.
And for free. So
no,
yeah.
But I really need to learn because it's going to be a problem when I have to do my own hair, and I don't want to.
Yeah, or if I'm like 80 and she's like
faster,
sitting under my arms and they're a little arthritis and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's not going to really work then. So, but I think Jade is learning the way I learned. So you feel when someone's braiding your hair, you get what they're doing, you understand the process, and you kind of just learn just from sitting under someone's hand. So the way I learned from my sister, I think Jade, you're not too bad. You're pretty good.
Yeah, no, they're just a little loose sometimes, but
yeah.
They're not like terrible. Because it's like she'll do my hair and then she'll be like, oh, I gotta, well, this is when COVID like wasn't a thing. She would do my hair and then have something to do. And I'm like, dude, oh, like half my head is done. What am I supposed to do for the rest of the week? Or how? I wanted to do something too. So when that happens, it's like, all right, I need to like try to finish my own head.
But you know what I usually do for that? So I'll finish the back, and I like the little cornrows in the front.
Yeah, I don't like the cornrows in the front.
Jay doesn't like the cornrows in the front, and I think it looks so good. I think it takes you back to your Pocahontas days. Like, it looks really beautiful.
I know.
I hope that's politically correct.
No, shit. I don't know, but yeah, no. I like singles. I just like all singles. I don't know. I think I look awkward with the cornrows in the front. Maybe my head's like a little too.
No, it's a vibe that I really like, and that's my go-to. And sometimes I'll do one whole like French braid going across the top. And it's different. I get compliments, it's different. But those are all in between while you're braiding your hair. But yeah, that's it. So now I do want to say that my hair journey today is really going back to being natural. During COVID, I actually was relieved that I didn't have to do my hair in scarves and wraps. Again, the fad, they're back, they're in, and I just think it accentuates a Black woman's beauty when we put the scarves and the wraps on our head. And I realized that.
And you've been doing that, for a long time, because my dad is Nigerian, so you were always wearing the head wraps for events and all that stuff. So actually, you put on a headscarf one time, like one of these, and I was like, oh, like I never really saw her with a headscarf on, but it's like you always were wearing head wraps.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Right. So, yeah, so my husband is from Nigeria, so they're wearing the big, shiny, beautiful head ties that
tough to manipulate.
Tough. Yeah. you learn. You kind of Vaseline up your fingers prior to putting it on so you don't get the cuts.
It's like architecture.
Yeah, it's very stiff material, and that just adds to the beauty and the style. And they call it stories. So they can be very low 1 story, or they can get as high as 3 stories. So it's interesting, and they're beautiful, they're colorful. But as an African American, we've always sported scarves, and you know, it changed from scarves to do-rags that brothers started wearing and things like that. But in terms of females, we've always had beautiful silk scarves. You know, the cotton ones, we learned that wasn't as good and was more like for downtime. But like Jade's scarf that she wears on her head, and I actually just took one off, I think they're beautiful. And I think I've realized that more now, that I don't have to get 10 packs of extensions to braid my hair in order to get ready for the weekend that's coming up, that I can actually look into scarves and my own hair in terms of doing the twist. And what are the
Bantu knots.
Bantu knots, that's definitely my go-to. But I'm working on my hairline in order to really sport Bantu knots, because I've gotten pretty good, kind of good at that as well. But going back to scarves, I think during COVID, that's been my go-to, because you can be creative with the styles. I've been to meetings at work, and I know folks at work, I'm showing up with scarves and, you know, being fancy with the little ties on the side, and the colorful
Surprises
ones.
me.
Yeah. And that's what I say. And they're like, you look so nice. And I'm like, well, thank you.
Girl, I know.
Yeah. So it works. It works. But I think, you know, we're just beautiful people, beautiful women, and beautiful Black women. And I think that braids accentuate our beauty, but so do scarves, and so do Bantu twists. And I feel good that it's more natural now, as opposed to it was back in the day.
It's like you don't have to do all the manipulation to be like, oh, my hair looks good.
No.
Or like, you know,
and
it
you
requires
learn,
less and it's better for your hair.
yeah, and you learn that, you know, processed hair and permed hair is what beauty was in terms of white America. And that's what we adapted to, and that's what we tried to be. In order just kind of, you know, just to be beautiful, and what that definition was back then. But thanks to you all in your generation, and Generation Z, Generation X, and Millennials, brought it all back to what Black beauty really is, and to be proud and to walk just like that, and sport your fur, whether it's tight or whether it's loose or whether it's curl. It's all good, because it's all part of our beauty. And I realize that the more natural that we are, the more beautiful that we are. So it's
And
good.
if you want a little straighten here and there, you can fly away.
Right here and there, you know. And that's the versatility of our hair as well, because we're very versatile, because I can show up with it down my back, I can show up with it shoulder length, I can show up with real curly, or a little tight and right. Red, blonde,
anything.
So it works. But I think as sisters, we're proud of what we have, and I think we demonstrate that through all the different styles that we can wear in our go-tos. So it's a good feel.
What is your biggest? Hold on one second. All right, so next question.
Okay.
I think the like natural hair movement today, I think less young children, and this is just my own opinion, my own thoughts, less young children are like feeling like, hey, I want a perm, or like, because they're seeing more representation, like all these people wearing their natural hair and it looks beautiful and everything. But what was it like, you know, like back in the day, or even when I was like begging to get a perm, because I didn't get a perm till 6th grade, but I know I was asking for it for so long. So it's just like, in that moment, are you like, oh, I don't want to do it, but like she wants it so, or like what is that feeling like when your kid is like, hey, I want to like straighten my hair?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think so today, the Sinais of the world are proud to sport the afro, although I think that age group,
It's a little tough,
still
yeah.
a little tough because of the feedback they get from their little classmates that are white or brown. But for us, and I think it was more so coming up because you just receive differently, and that's the crazy part. Because in your family, you're good, and you look at Joni's little afro, and she's cute. But then when you leave your home and you end up in school, and there's white and black little girls that have different textures of hair, and you're not received as well. So suddenly you feel like your afro isn't as
or
cute, braids isn't as cute when you left the house. So I think and then we start experimenting. So when I said we were going through the fads, that when it came time for a perm, when you showed up in school Monday morning, you were the stuff because your hair was fly away. You were in the schoolyard playing kickball, and your hair was just bouncing just like all the other little girls. And it was a good feel because then they start touching your, they touch your hair anyways, but that's a whole different type of a conversation. But they say, oh my goodness, your hair looks pretty. And you start to feel like you look like them. So yeah. I think
or
that.
equate like straight hair with being cute and pretty.
Yeah, right. So that's, I think, what happens through the journey with our hair. But then you quickly learn because a month later, you are not showing up in school with that straight flyaway hair. You're back in thick braids. You're back to a little afro because it had to be all that dead and over-processed hair had to be cut off. And it breaks. And then that's just a horrible, horrible feel when your hair's breaking off and you got to, it's not even long enough to put in a little pigtail. Never mind a ponytail, a little pigtail. So you go back to the little braids and things like that. But
or it's different, like when you expect your hair. I know when I first got my hair relaxed, like you expect it to be just like the little like white girls or like the Latina girls and stuff, like wavy and long and straight and everything. And then like you go to the hair salon, you get it done, and like then they bump your ends, and you're like, oh, but that's not. And they oil it down and everything, and you're just like, oh,
no. I forgot about that. So in between the afro and the braids, or the perm, in between the afro and the braids comes what? Because then you realize that, your mom saying, you're not getting no chemicals in your hair, you're not getting no perm. Then you end up going to, your go-to is what? The press and curl.
The press and curl.
So the press and curl.
Quick fix.
That was the stuff. So you came out with California curls, they used to call them, because your hair was pressed and then they curled it up with, that other curling. It wasn't even a curling iron because the curler went into the flame just like the hot comb did. And you would come out and Easter Sunday,
tight curls.
Beautiful. So it was greased, it was oiled, it was tight curls, and it wasn't flyaway. It was anything but flyaway.
Stiff.
So that was the in-between of the afro and the perm. That if you wanted to be safe, you go with the press and curl, and that stuff was frying up your hair just as well. And the more lard that went into your hair, the more lard that came out. So it was just as damaging, not as damaging as the perm, but it was halfway there. So that press and curl was actually a go-to as well, and it was pretty common. And I think it was more so because we really couldn't afford the perm. So a perm was maybe $10, $15, where you had that hot comb right in your hair the little drawer there underneath in the closet in the bathroom that you could pull out, turn on the flame, and get your hair straight. So that was the in-between before the perm. After the perm that was damaged and you wanted to be a little straight again, you would go for that hot comb.
What about texturizers? I know Kingsley and Kaya wanted waves.
Wow.
What is the blue jelly stuff?
The S-curl?
Yeah, the S-curl, the S-curl.
Wow. Yeah.
Their hair was looking baby soft though. Smooth.
Baby soft, smooth, but stifled growth completely. That texturizer was amazing. So, and that actually was a mind game because it made you think it wasn't as harsh as the perm, but totally had the same effect. That month or month and a half later, what was it? It was a texturizer. Yeah, it was a texturizer that made it smooth wave. So you wasn't trying to be white and right. You were trying to be brown and round. Like you had a little wave going on there. And you know what? Jay, did I put one in your hair?
Yeah, you did. Oh my God, yeah.
Just loosened it up a little bit.
It was,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, the texturizer, yeah. And Kyle loved his texturizer.
He did.
Yeah.
That
was his go-to.
Rico Suave.
Rico Suave. So I think we have a family picture with both boys had texturizer.
I know, Kingsley was so adorable.
Yeah, got it done that morning, right for the family picture at noon. So they were absolutely.
I'm trying to find. I know I have a picture when I have the texturizer in my hair. And it was rough.
But I think even.
It was just like a loose curl.
Yeah. But in between, so if you go to texturizer, you felt like it wasn't as harsh as the jerry curl.
Yeah.
Because the jerry curl.
I don't think I ever did jerry curl.
And that was a good thing because the solutions and the oils and the creams that all came with the jerry curl, the minute you stopped that, you no longer had any curl. So it started out a jerry curl, but if the minute you stop, which is amazing how they sell products, and if you don't buy the whole package, then half the package does not work. So it definitely is about making money off of the products. But the jerry curl, you had to get the activator, the cream curl, the moisturizer, the conditioner.
This is when I had the texturizer.
Oh.
This was the texturizer picture. Loose
Pretty.
curl.
Yeah.
Shake it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
that
terrible.
little.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, got that little mixed hair look. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But you know what? That's the versatility.
And I loved it in the moment. I was like, I'm going to go to school like this.
Yeah.
Sitting in class.
Yeah, I dropped Jade off and she just shook her head all the way up to the door. It was bouncing and behaving. But as I was saying, the jerry curl is looking back is absolutely hilarious. Because you'd be showing up at folks' house, you sit on their couch, you're standing up the back of their couch, and their towels are all yellow and stuff, and so you actually had to wear a cap on your head in between, because if you were just chilling, if it dried out, your jerry curl was again not a curl at all. So that was a funny time as well. But definitely the texturizer. It was enjoyable. Kyle liked it. Kingsley looked adorable.
Kingsley was adorable.
Yeah, so.
Kyle thought he was a stud. I mean, in the moment, you're like, oh, my hair is flowing. And
you felt like it wasn't as harsh as the perm.
Yeah.
Because what's that? No lie? L-Y-E?
Mm-hmm.
That type of lie.
Yeah.
Would be on the box. Or no peroxide or like something that you associated with that harsh, just for me type of a perm, was no longer, that key ingredient was not in there. But
So it
actually
had to
it
be
was
good.
there. It was just a different name. It was just called a different name, but it was there because it, and I felt like years later, anything that changes the texture or the what is it, the feel of your hair, I don't know how good that really is.
Probably not.
Probably not. That goes to the level of like a chemical change.
Definitely not good.
Not good.
Nothing.
Not good. So, that's it.
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn. But we're still beautiful, right? Right?
Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff you do to your hair. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But better late than never. To learn,
Yeah.
you know, natural styles and how to protect it and everything. The right
Right.
ingredients. I mean, you've been watching a lot of videos lately. You're big into aloe and rice water and stuff.
Yeah. So, and that was another, COVID has definitely been a learning opportunity for hair and skin, but especially hair. So I started like boiling aloe and straining aloe and making aloe. I actually should have brought my concoctions with me. So I have an aloe oil with coconut and olive oil. I have aloe, like a liquid. I actually came home and talked about the liquid,
Oil.
liquid
LOC
cream.
method.
I
Yeah.
say LCO, so it's a liquid cream oil,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was all based on rice water, aloe, and also an aloe oil as well. So I've definitely learned that, and when you take care of your hair, you feel like that's a complete package in terms of taking care of yourself. So we're used to brushing our teeth and washing our face, and you know, you're doing our hair, but you set aside a Saturday for your hair. But when
Hair
it
care,
becomes like
self-care.
a daily routine, it includes our hair as well. And just because, you know, our hair doesn't get oily, to know that, oh no, it needs to get washed, it gets really dry. So we try to continuously oil it. And I learned that you have to shampoo your hair, so you don't wait it out, even with braids, to shampoo and condition, and whether it's a dry shampoo or to get that oil in. But
Get the
basically,
build up off and everything.
yeah, basically it's part of a daily, your daily hygiene is your hair as well. And I think that attributes a lot to it being healthy, because when we were kids, we didn't get our hair washed every day. You know what? You get in your braids, you got it greased up, and if it was dry, you didn't shampoo it. You got it greased up again, and if it dry, you just continue that process, and then, you know, you would wash your hair, but not as often. As
Or also
I've
just
now learned
learning
it
like
should.
what works for you. Not like every day, but like every few days or like every week. Definitely not like, I know before, if I would have braids, like if I wasn't working out or anything, I'd be
Right.
like, oh, I could go the whole month
Yeah.
without like doing anything to it. And it's like, no, you still need to oil your scalp. You still need to like moisturize your edges, like
That's
wash it in between and everything. So just knowing, like incorporating it into your routine. Hair care is definitely self-care.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a great way to put it. But it's, well, you're a poet. You got some lyrics. You got some lines. But yeah, I absolutely agree. So, I mean, COVID has been a horrible time for this world, but it's also been a time for folks to just, you know what, reteach, relearn, and learn new things to make our lives better. It gave us an opportunity to kind of self-reflect and see what needs improvement within, and as well as, you know, outside as well. So in terms of looking internally and self-care and self-love and beautifying. And that's when you realize more that natural is actually a great option and something to invest in. Right?
It's definitely an investment.
Yeah.
Hair products are expensive.
Very expensive. And if you go back to the basic, you have it all. You have that aloe is what, $1.49 for a leaf that's like huge. It's 3 feet long and it's $1.49 as opposed to paying $15 and $20
for an aloe mixture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's been definitely a journey, and it, as Jade said, it continues to be a journey because our hair, we are, what did you say? Like we are what we eat, so to speak. So we are, and that includes our whole body from the tip of our head to our toes. So however way we take care of them, you guys
Top of your head.
Tip of my head.
Top, bro. Tip is your toe.
Yeah, you're gonna cut that. Anyhow, tip of my toe, top of my head, yeah. But yeah. What else?
I don't know. That's all the questions I had. It's great speaking with you.
Yeah. So, this is Joan. No, let me try that again because Jane can't cut out anything. So this is Joni Brown Sugar and signing out, and it's a pleasure hanging out with Jade today, and I hope she invites me back to talk to you guys a little bit more about a whole lot of stuff because I love to talk, I love to chat.
Loves to
talk. Yeah. So guys, check out Jade's blog, and she has an amazing hair journey herself. So you've actually witnessed her journey.
Yeah, from the big chop.
Yep, from the big chop to, there you go.
The curl.
The curl. The blonde curl.
Why would you pull it?
Oops, sorry. In terms of breaking, that's actually another conversation to have as well. Sorry, just pulled Jade's blonde curl out. Anyways.
No, but for real, you said some great stuff, so, and you know hair more than, or for longer than I have, so.
Yeah, next time I come, I'm going to bring pictures or journey of my process with the hair from teeny toddler to 29-year-old as I am today. So, yeah.
That's enough for that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more. Maybe she'll be back sometime.
I will.
Maybe she'll be back sometime. But yeah, that's it.
Peace. Paula.
Bye.
Why not Paula? You said peace.